Hello and welcome to MYTECH's Make a Difference Community Grant for 2021. Today we're just going to provide you an overview of what's included, who's eligible, and how you can apply. I'm Nathan Austin. I'll be presenting and facilitating today, and Stephanie Kingsland will be producing behind the scenes. And we are going to be introducing the adjudicators as well as a couple other co-host organizations that are also donating some services through the 2021 Make a Difference grant. So today we are going to be going through, why do we do a community grant? Why are we doing this? We're going to introduce the panelists and the adjudicators. We're going to talk a little bit more detail about what is included in the grant, so you can get to know the solutions a little bit more right from the mouths of the people offering them, and who is eligible, and then again at the end, how to apply. So let's just get going here. So why a community grant? Well, for MYTECH, speaking on behalf of MYTECH, it's core to our mission to grow, help, and make a difference. We believe that by providing, we want to give back to the community in which we live, work, and thrive. We want to give our team the opportunity to partner with great community organizations to see the great work they do in the community. And that's just a really rewarding experience. Our community isn't as strong if our nonprofit community and our community as a whole isn't in a good place. So that's a big part of why the community grant. And if we can help we try and help as many nonprofits as we can, but one of the philosophies that we try and get out there for any for-profit organization we work with, if they can identify and align with at least one nonprofit organization in their community, and every for-profit organization did that, then boy, our nonprofit communities, organizations and communities would have some great extra resources at their disposal to do the great work they do. So this grant is hopefully going to enable several nonprofit community organizations to leverage technology, to leverage the coaching, to leverage these solutions to take steps towards fulfilling your mission, or furthering your mission. So that's why we do a community grant, and we're excited to do it again in 2021 and to work with our co-hosts, which we're about to hear from. So let's talk about the introduction and panelists of adjudicators. So Lorii, I would appreciate it if you would introduce yourself and just speak to a couple things. One, what made you want to be involved and help us with the adjudication process and being a panelist? And then secondarily, if you have any tips that you would like to provide to any of the applicants to say, like, what would you be looking for in a nonprofit organization relative to potentially being a recipient of one of these grants?
Thank you so much, Nate, and thank you so much to MYTECH for the opportunity to be a part of this process and of this group today. My name is Lorii Rabinowitz. I am proud to serve as the CEO of Denver Scholarship Foundation. We work with Denver's public schools students on their journeys to and through college completion, working most closely with underrepresented students of color, first-generation college students, and students who have grown up with low income. I am so excited to be an adjudicator because we are one of the beneficiaries of MYTECH's brilliance. We at Denver Scholarship Foundation had the opportunity to migrate to Microsoft 365 in January of 2020, just before the COVID pandemic struck, and we have been so incredibly appreciative both of MYTECH's leadership and the gifts that you give to the community and the opportunity to make that transition. So what I'm looking for from the applications is, how will you leverage your Microsoft 365, either new platforms or enhanced platforms, to serve community and leverage those assets for the greater whole?
Awesome. Thank you, Lorii. Appreciate that. And, I appreciate the comments you made too about MYTECH. I wasn't trying to get a shameless plug or anything like that, but thank you very much. And I'm glad we've been able to work together over the last year. So with that said, TC, would you mind introducing yourself? And again, as well, just talking about, why you chose to be a part of it, and then any tips you might provide to the applicants.
I will, Nate, and I'll give MYTECH a plug. And you didn't ask me for this because I think you guys are great, and I love that you serve your community so well. So thank you for that. I guess I parallel that path. I've had my practice for 36 years. I started working out by mentally training elite athletes, helping them master their minds. I transitioned into working with business leaders about 26 years ago and helping them master their minds. And then adding to that, how to master your business. My business has evolved to become a business where all I do is implement the entrepreneur operating system now for both for-profit and not-for-profit organizations, which I really love. And then I integrate my coaching into that rather than doing it separately. So it's been a really fun evolution of my practice for 36 years. What I'm looking for, and I'm excited to meet all of these nonprofits. Just in general, I know I'm going to meet some great people, some great organizations that I'm not aware of. So it's a sort of a bigger picture. I'm happy to help you guys, and I'm happy to help the nonprofit world. I do all my volunteer work with Techstars right now, and if you know Techstars, they take for-profit or hopefully for-profit businesses from the kitchen table to having funding to supporting them through the life of their company. And so it's really nice for me to add the nonprofit world to that, because I do a lot of work, volunteer work with Techstars founders. I'm going to also offer a gift. So anybody, the top winner, I'm going to offer a year of EOS. That's 5 full session days. That's typically a $25,000 cost. And I'm just really happy to do that, and I'm excited to do that.
Thanks, TC. The one last thing that I don't know if you have any, when you thinking ahead of looking through the applications that we'll be reviewing here in a couple months, any tips that you'd be looking for, or things that you'd want to encourage folks to include in their application process that can help us with the selection process?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. 3 things. How much heart and how much soul do you have? That's the first 2 things. And the third thing is most not-for-profits have heart and soul, but do you also have the capability and the desire to make a bigger impact over a sustainable period of time so you can grow and scale what you're doing? So when we help you with this investment, it's just not for now, it's for the next 5, 10 to 15 years, and you can really scale it.
Excellent, TC. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that last one. I think that's a powerful part of what we're all going to be looking for. So thank you. All right. Next panelist and adjudicator, Alex. Would you mind introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about why you chose to participate in the grant and any tips you'd have for our applicants?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. My name is Alex Sward, and I'm here representing People Element. We are a Denver-based software as a service provider. And really our goal is to simplify improving the employee experience for companies. I know I'm particularly thrilled to be participating in this. One of our whys as an organization of why we do what we do is to help people. And there's really no better way to be able to give back than to really choose some very deserving nonprofits and be able to help them further the mission of what they're trying to accomplish. And that really leads into one of the things I'll be looking for in applicants is really how can you take what you're going to be providing, what will be provided to you through this grant process, and now that that's off your plate, how can you further reach a larger population with your mission? How can you help more recipients of your services and gain a much broader reach that you may not have been able to achieve without this grant?
Excellent. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate your involvement, and let's move over to Patty Gustafson. Patty, I know why you're part of the grant, because you're part of MYTECH and it's part of our mission, but tell us, please introduce yourself and talk about your interest in the grant and just something that you're looking out to encourage our applicants to include.
Absolutely. So I am Patty Gustafson. I'm the general manager of the MYTECH Partners branch here in Lakewood, Colorado. I am eager to participate, because I think I can speak for our whole staff of employees here in Lakewood. Everyone takes our mission of grow, help, and make a difference to heart, not as a slogan or something that's printed on our wall, but really it is the heart of our team here. We are fed by serving people. So we fully embrace that mission. Our goal is to identify a recipient that has similar values with us and can work with us to identify, strategize, and implement ways to use technology to further their mission. And similar to what has already been said, I mean, our goal is to find a way to impact the nonprofit so that we can maximize the folks that you serve. Maybe we can become more efficient in collaborating. Maybe we can look at upgrading some equipment so that you're more productive. But the end result is, how can we serve more people? Can we serve one more meal? Can we add one more scholarship? So it's really, we're wanting to see tangible results, and that is what drives our team.
Yeah, thank you, Patty.
Yep.
All right, let's Brandon, last but not least. Brandon, would you mind introducing yourself? And again, I know that it's probably hard coming last because some of the things that were already said as far as what you're looking for, but tell about, you know, your interest, involvement in the grant, as well as any tips you might have for the applicants.
Yeah, thank you. My name's Brandon Meyer. I serve as the branch sales manager for MYTECH in our Lakewood, Colorado location. Yes, I'm part of MYTECH, so it makes a logical choice to be a part of the adjudication process, but I also serve as a co-founder of a nonprofit myself. And I know the impact that technology can have on nonprofits, and having been a part of this grant process 2 years ago, seeing it in the Denver market and the impact that we have and the organizations that we potentially reached out to is the primary driver as to why I want to be a part of it, because we can make a firsthand impact on the mission and the goals of these organizations from a strategic perspective beyond just blinking lights of servers and switches. And the next question of what am I looking for in an organization? My primary focus is looking for organizations that are seeking a true partnership, someone who is aiming for help in strategic planning, aiming for help in, to Lori's point earlier, of maximizing resources like Microsoft Office 365 and whatever other elements are in your environment. When we work with nonprofits on a day-to-day, we find that very rarely are they actually maximizing what they have in place. So I want to find an organization that we can maximize investments in new and existing technology.
Great, thank you, Brandon. So speaking of how can we leverage the prizes, let's talk about that. So we're going to quickly go through and touching a little bit more details about the prizes. Now, this all is available on the website, but here's where you'll be able to hear from it firsthand from the different organizations. So Alex, People Element, these are the prizes that you're offering up as far as donated services and solutions. Would you mind talking a little bit about the two offerings and to help provide some more context around this other than just the written word?
Absolutely. So for our grand prize winner, what we want to be able to provide is 1 year full access to our platform and all of the associated services. And so that takes you everywhere from onboarding to having a dedicated resource that can help you through creating your own employee experience strategy. You can run unlimited surveys, gather unlimited feedback. You have access to our online action planning system, all of our best practice libraries, coaching. Additionally, we'll even have one of our senior people provide a consolidated view of all of your data and report that back to the leadership team. And then for a second and third place winner, what we want to do is really offer that, but on a bit smaller of a scale. We'll have allow you to have one survey, all of your employees, whether you want to do engagement, you want to focus on diversity and inclusion, you want to focus on well-being. We'll still help you through that process, work with you on the data, what you can do with it, and how you can take that to improve the work lives of your employees. Just as an aside on this too, I'm just kind of in furtherance of our mission, I was very pleased that I had every single member of our client team volunteer who want to be a part of this. And so I know you're going to get a very excited group of people to help you through this process, and hopefully can really make a difference in the work lives of your employees.
Awesome, Alex. I love that. I think that's one of the things I think has been really powerful, and part of the value alignment that we're all looking for too, because we what I found from everyone that's on the call here, the adjudicators, we all want to be able to help, and all of our team members are behind it, and I just love that. So thank you for that piece. So TC, I know you touched on this briefly, but would you mind going into a little bit more detail about the nature of this engagement, and just kind of frame it up for some folks to give a little bit more context around your donated services and solutions?
Yeah, you bet. And if you don't know what the Entrepreneur Operating System is, it was written in the book Traction by Gino Wickman. So it's a great reference. I also have a nice summary page on my blog. If you go to my website, tcnorth.com, it's the first article, so you can get a one-page summary of what it is. And that's a really good way to get an overview of it. But what I do is I implement the Entrepreneur Operating System, and the first year is about 5 full days of training. I train the leadership team. I don't train the rest of the organization. And it's a combination of a management leadership system. It's been implemented by professionals like me in over 10,000 companies now around the world. And we've delivered over 76,000 sessions to leadership teams. So one of the things I love about it is it's not TC North stuff, which I did for a long time until I realized Gino stuff was better, which kind of ticked me off, by the way. And but when it's better, it's better. And so I went and got trained in it. Now I love it, and see, it's changed my world, and it's changed the world of my clients. And I also want you to know that I've just that my background is a high performance executive coaching. And I also include that at no charge and an as needed basis.
Thanks, TC. I can tell you, and I can speak for MyTech for 2 things about EOS. Is one, MyTech has been leveraging EOS for many years now, and it has made a big difference in our organization. And the second thing I would say to that is that I would strongly recommend having someone help you implement it, because it is helpful to have an expert guide you through that process, especially an expert that has the ability to provide other coaching to complement EOS, like what TC is going to be able to bring to the table. So thanks, TC, for your donation of your services and for giving us a little more context around that.
You bet. You're welcome.
All right, so let's, last but not least, let's talk about the MyTech donation of services and solutions. We are offering the grand prize for the Make a Difference community grant. There'll be one winner, and the grand prize will include 3 years of what MyTech calls our Smart Business Suite managed services, complete managed services, and it also includes all professional services for 3 years that, depending on the size of the organization, is valued up to $250,000 in donated services over the 3-year period of time. There's one caveat that we have for this particular prize, is that the organization must be between 15 and 40 what we call technology users. So sometimes it's staff members or team members or employees, but sometimes those employees aren't using technology. So we would try and get the 15 and 40 that are technology users for this grand prize. And it really speaks to what nearly every adjudicator and panelist mentioned, which is that we believe that for this grand prize, this size of organization, right in this sweet spot between 15 and 40, are the most likely to be able to be not only ready to be able to leverage the services to advance their mission, but where we feel we can have the greatest impact versus a much larger organization that probably has a lot more resources available to them. So that's one of the reasons why we selected that. And then the secondary, the top 3 finalists to the grand prize will receive a customized Microsoft 365 consulting engagement to help your organization drive adoption. Now, we have multiple different consulting offerings that we've kind of packaged for around Microsoft 365 solutions. And so depending on where your organization is at and which one of those might be the best fit or have the greatest impact for you, we basically are going to come to you and offer you the option to choose which one you feel is the best fit for where you're at in your organization. So that is what the secondary or the top 3 finalists will receive from MyTech. And I want to offer up one little tea to either Patty or Brandon. Is there anything else that you'd like to offer? I'll start with Patty first, if there's anything you'd like to add to this.
No, I think we're just very excited. As if you're watching this, I would encourage you to not only consider applying for this donated solution, but also speak within your circles of nonprofits in the community and spread the word, because this is a fantastic opportunity to learn and grow and advance your business and your mission.
And just
Awesome.
to piggyback off Patty's point, the size and the 15 to 40 users is ideal. That we may have an organization that maybe you've got a managed services solution in place already, but you're seeking assistance and you need help with Microsoft 365. Please apply. You are being told no by not applying to any of this. So don't put yourself behind that door. Just submit your application, put your best foot forward, and to TC's point before, we're excited to learn about organizations that we don't know exist today. So bring us the opportunity to let us know that you're out there.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. So that's good. So that is a good segue to who's eligible. There's really only two key requirements. One, that we are looking for a nonprofit or not-for-profit organization that's a 501c3 charitable designation that are headquartered in the Denver metropolitan area. That's really it. You might have multiple locations. You might have locations that are outside the Denver metro, but we're really looking for organizations that are a charitable organization that are headquartered in the Denver metropolitan area. And then how to apply. All of this information is available online at mytech.com/grant, as well as links, the bios of all the adjudicators, links to the co-hosts, People Element and TC North's websites and their solutions, so you can do a little looking there too. The grant application window is open from March 1st at 8 a.m., which is open right now, and through April 16th, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time is when we're going to close that the application window. And the only other caveat that we ask is that, because we've had this happen before, is that the person who's completing the application, please note that we're asking you to have the authority to enter the grant process on behalf of the organization. We have some questions in there. We'll make sure that we reach out and validate, but we just want to make sure that the organization is choosing to be a part of this and that we have the support of the organization to engage in this way, because otherwise, what we're talking about and the services we're providing, if we're not behind, and I think TC or Alex mentioned this, that if the organization isn't behind this and isn't interested in engaging, then it's not the right fit for either of us. So we're definitely looking for organizations that are committed and they're interested, and that we all know that we're moving forward together. So finally, the event. We will have the event on May 20th. Now, we don't know exactly where. It's either going to be at MyTech and or a virtual event. That'll be to be determined. If we're still in a period where personal interaction is not recommended, we will do a virtual event. But if we can, we'd like to be able to do probably a hybrid event where those of you who feel comfortable coming in person, we'd love to see you. And for those of you who want to join remotely, we'll have you that way. We'll have you join that way as well. But ultimately, a representative from your organization must be present in order to win one of the prizes. With that said, I want to thank everyone for attending. Please reach out to us with any questions by going to mytech.com/grant. There'll be ways to get a hold of us. And I want to thank all of the adjudicators for being part of the process. And I want to thank Alex and TC for so generously donating your services and solutions. And I'm very much looking forward to making a difference in the Denver metropolitan community here in 2021. Thanks everyone for attending.